Hello, grade 6 students. Good day and welcome to our English class. Okay, today we will read a short story entitled The King of the Golden River. So this was written by John Ruskin and retold by Carmelita A. Relente. Okay, class. Kindness can change a person's life. It can even change the faith of a whole community, for it inspires hope and positivity. Furthermore, kindness goes a long way and is always rewarded with good things, such as the story of a boy named Gluck. So let us read his story and be inspired to spread kindness around you. In a senescent country of Styria, there lay a beautiful valley with abundant vegetation. It was called Treasure Valley because it produced bountiful crops that fed the people in the region. The valley was surrounded by mountainous peaks and plateaus that produced apples, hay, grapes, and honey. Above the valley, amazing and crystal clear waterfalls and streams were found. One of these shone like gold in the sunlight, and thus it was named the Golden River. The Golden River was known to be inherited by three brothers named Squarts, Hans, and Gluck. It was an open secret in the village that Squarts and Hans, the older brothers, were the exact opposite of Gluck, because these two were cruel and greedy. Gluck was loved by the people because of his generosity and kind heart for the poor and the needy. The two mean brothers farmed the valley and harmed and even killed everything that did not bring them treasures. They forced people to work for them and paid them nothing. There were times that they did not even let the workers eat. These evil brothers also instructed Gluck not to allow anybody to get into their house, or else they would beat him to death. Eventually, the two brothers became very rich. Gold was all over their house, but never a penny was given to anyone for charity. Everything was for profit, for self-gain, and for money. Meanwhile, the people of Styria began to starve. They began to curse the two mean brothers. Because of their hatred, they called Squarts and Hans the Black Brothers. Gluck, the good and generous 12-year-old boy, was filled with concern for all the poor. Although his heart was filled with pity for the needy, he was afraid and helpless against the scrutiny of his merciless brothers. One day, the country was flooded and only Gluck's family had a good harvest. Squarts and Hans left Gluck all alone in their house. Gluck suddenly heard a loud knocking at the door. He was afraid to open it, but he felt that somebody was asking for help. When he opened the door, there was a shivering old man begging for food and clothes because he was soaked in the rain. Despite Gluck's fear for his brothers, he let the old man in and fed him and gave him clothes. When the two brothers came home earlier as expected, they saw Gluck with the old man. They were so furious and attempted to throw the stranger out. But when Squarts was about to strike at him, the stick was thrown from his hand. Both the evil brothers tried to strike the old man, but they were thrown back upon the floor. Gluck did his best to stop his brothers, and when he succeeded, the old man told them, "I will come back at midnight, on a day you would never know. On that day, you will both repay for all the things you have done to the poor." Months after that horrible fighting incident between the old man and Gluck's brothers, a terrible storm awoke the villagers. When the three brothers came out of their house the next day, they found out that the whole valley was in ruin. Everything had been flooded and swept away. Their cattle, crops, and all their treasures, including their gold, were swept away. Everything was gone. The valley was turned into a valley of red sand. With this occurrence, the three brothers became as poor or even poorer than the people Squarts and Hans refused to feed and keep when they were still wealthy. One day, the two evil brothers thought of melting Gluck's golden mug with the intention of selling the gold. They were astonished because instead of turning into a melted gold, the mug turned into a king. The king spoke and said, "Thank you. At last, I am finally free. I am the king of the Golden River. Since you are the owner of the mug, young boy, I am also yours. I am here to grant you a wish as a sign of my gratitude." The king of the Golden River told Gluck that if there would be someone who could throw 3 drops of holy water from which the river fell at first trial, would turn the river into gold. But if that someone failed to uncast holy water, he or she would turn into a black stone. After hearing this from the king of the river, Squarts and Hans went separate ways to look for holy water. When they arrived home, they both tried to put 3 drops of holy water into the river. However, because their intention was evil, they failed and turned into black stones. Gluck was too lonely and could not stop mourning for what happened to his brothers. He blamed himself for allowing his brothers to drop holy water into the river when he knew all along that they will turn into black stones because of their evil hearts. He wept and mourned for months. He wandered to many barren valleys, hoping that his loneliness would vanish. Until one day, he saw an old man, a child, and a dog. Just like him, they were tired, hungry, and thirsty. He did not wait for the old man to ask for help because he knew that the old man felt that they were of the same situation. He offered them a drink, but the old man refused. Gluck insisted. All of them had a good share of the holy water. After the dog drank, they were surprised and shocked when it turned into the king of the Golden River. The king asked Gluck to listen attentively as he gave several instructions. With great hope in his heart and something great would happen, Gluck obediently followed the king's order. Gluck put 3 drops of dew into the river and returned to the treasure valley afterward. He could not believe what he saw. The Golden River was flowing in innumerable streams among the dry heaps of the sand. Everything went back to normal. The mountainous peaks became as abundant and the plateaus turned greener. But barren lands turned rich and fertile again. Kindness, love, and sincere concern for others brought back the inheritance to life. Thanks to the young lad with the golden heart, Gluck, the owner of the golden mug. So that is the story about the King of the Golden River, again written by John Ruskin and retold by Carmelita A. Relente. Okay, grade 6 students, for your activity today, kindly go to your Edmodo account and then answer the activity that is related or that is about the story that we have just read. So if you have some questions, you can message me in my Telegram account. That would be all for today, grade 6 students. I hope you have learned something from this video. See you again and thank you!